Hello everyone, welcome to GS Core. These are science and technology classes, and today in this session we'll be discussing about science and technology trend analysis. In the last few classes, firstly we have discussed about previous year questions from science and technology, followed by our discussion of themes on science and technology. There are various themes that we have also discussed, and today we will be discussing about trend of questions asked by UPSC from science and technology, right? So this session will be the analysis of trend of questions on science and technology in the mains examination of UPSC. So before we start analysis of trend, let us discuss firstly, let us take a small recap of the topics that we are supposed to discuss under science and technology, right? So the topics that are important for science and technology are, first of all, developments in the field of science and technology. Developments in the field of science and technology. And when we say developments, it is about current developments in the field of science and technology, right? Then achievements of Indians in the field of science and technology. In the field of science and technology. That means the contribution made by or contributions of various Indian scientists, like let's say Sir C.V. Raman, then Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, Dr. Homi Jahangir Bhabha, Dr. M.S. Swaminathan. All those important contributions made by these Indian scientists are important from the exam's perspective, and that we are supposed to study under this achievements of Indians in the field of science and technology. Next is indigenization. Indigenization of technology. Indigenization of technology. That means the technology which is developed using raw material and using the know-how originated in our own country. That is indigenization of technology. Then we are supposed to also study about various technologies under science and technology. That means awareness in the field of science and technology. Awareness in the field of science and technology, wherein we are supposed to know about technologies like space, nuclear, biotechnology, then nanotechnology, then IT and computers, then the technology like defense technology, right? So all these important technologies we are supposed to aware of, right? And lastly, issues related with intellectual property rights. Issues related with intellectual property rights. What are intellectual property rights? Intellectual property rights are the rights, exclusive rights given to the inventor. For example, these are in the form of patents, copyrights, trademarks, industrial designs, trade secrets, etc. Right? So these are intellectual property rights, and we are supposed to discuss about the issues related to those intellectual property rights. Right? So this is the syllabus that UPSC has given in the mains examination. And today we will be discussing about the trend of questions that UPSC has asked from these topics, right? So let us start our discussion with first topic. So what kind of questions are coming from developments in the field of science and technology, right? And as we have already referred, when we say development, it is about current developments that are occurring in the field of science and technology. For example, there was a question asked on Indian Space Station in 2019's mains examination. There was a question on Indian Space Station in 2019's examination. So that is a current development, or that was the current development during that particular time. Indian Space Station. Right? So mostly questions from this particular topic are about those developments which are in news. For example, again, there was a question in 2020's mains examination, and that was COVID-19 pandemic has caused unprecedented devastation worldwide. However, technological advancements are being availed readily to win over the crisis. Give an account of technology that was sought to manage the pandemic, that was sought to aid the management of pandemic, right? So COVID-19 and technology. COVID-19 and technology. And before this particular question, there was a question on the IRNSS. What are standard positioning services and restricted or precision positioning services in the GPS era? Discuss the advantages India perceives from ambitious IRNSS regional navigation program, right? So again, a current development for the 2015's examination. IRNSS was the current development for 2015's examination, right? So we can see here that the questions that are being asked from this topic, developments in the field of science and technology, are current based questions, right? And hence it becomes important for us to focus on important developments that are happening, that are occurring in various fields of science and technology, right? So that's why this topic becomes important for our studies, right? So that is first topic. And as we have already discussed, for this, what we are supposed to study? We are supposed to study current affairs. Current affairs of all the technologies becomes important in order to fetch good marks from this particular topic, if question is asked, right? So that is first. Second is achievements of Indians in the field of science and technology. So from this sector also, or from this particular topic also, there are questions that are being asked, especially in 2018 and 2019's examination. Earlier, this topic was untouched by UPSC for initial 4 to 5 years when syllabus was changed. Syllabus was changed in 2013, and no question was asked from this particular topic, achievements of Indians, till 2019. Only in till 2018. Only in 2018 we have seen a question on Bose-Einstein statistics, right? So the achievements of Indians question was asked in 2018's examination, and that question was on Bose-Einstein statistics. Right, so the question was related to the contribution of Satyendranath Bose in Bose-Einstein statistics, and Bose-Einstein statistics is used in various kinds of applications, and those applications were also asked in this particular question. Right, so the question was, discuss the work of Bose-Einstein statistics done by Professor Satyendranath Bose and show how it revolutionized the field of physics, right? So the question was about the contribution of Dr. Satyendranath Bose. Right. Next, the question that was asked from 2019 on same topic was on the contributions of Dr. M.S. Swaminathan and Sir M. Vishweshwaraya. The contributions of Sir M. Vishweshwaraya and Dr. M.S. Swaminathan. Right. So these were the questions that UPSC has asked from achievements of Indians in the field of science and technology. So this question or this topic, as you can see, the questions that are asked from this topic are purely static questions. They are from traditional sources that we should refer. Right. That means achievements of Indians, whosoever has contributed in the field of science and technology for India becomes important for our examination as far as this topic is concerned. Right. So it is traditional sources becomes important. Right. So that is about the achievements of Indians in the field of science and technology. Next is indigenization of technology. Next topic that we are supposed to study is indigenization of technology. So from this particular topic, there was no direct question related to indigenization of technology, but we can say that the question that was asked in 2021's mains examination, the question asked in 2021's mains examination related to S400, Triumph, the anti-missile system that India is about to procure from Russia. Question was asked in 2021's mains examination, and this becomes important from our exams perspective. Why? Because indigenization of technology is about producing our own, let's say, military needs. Whatever arms, ammunitions we need in our home, those should be produced in-house. That is indigenization. But India is trying to procure some advanced technologies like S400 from Russia, and hence there may be an inspiration of this question from this particular topic, right? Or even we can put this S400 question in the current developments topic, right? So that is about the indigenization of technology. Now next is very important. Next topic that we are going to study is awareness in the field of science and technology, and the science and technology fields where we should be aware of important developments are these fields: space, nuclear, biotechnology, nanotechnology, IT and computers, defense technology, etc. So from this topic there are many questions. For example, the question that was asked, question from awareness in the field of science and technology topic. Many questions are being asked there. So for example, the question from 2017's exam was related to biotechnology, and that question was on stem cell therapy. Right? Stem cell therapy, we know that it is a kind of regenerative therapy wherein stem cells are used, and these stem cells, as they are the building blocks of our body, we can say that these stem cells can help us to regenerate any cell, tissue or organ, right? So that is stem cell therapy. Question was asked from this particular topic in 2017. Next, the question was on achievements in the field of space science and technology. What are the achievements in the field of space science and technology. Space science and technology. And this question was asked in 2016's examination related to awareness in the field of space. Right. So this question is not about any specific achievement. This question is about the achievements that we have had in last 50 to 60 years since the inception of ISRO. Right. So that is the question. Next question is about why India is not able to put manned mission. In 2017's examination, there was a question on manned mission. The question was, India has achieved remarkable success in unmanned space missions, including Chandrayaan and Mars orbiter mission, but has not ventured into manned space missions. What are the main obstacles to launching a manned mission, both in terms of technology and logistics? So again, a question from 2017's examination on manned space mission. Manned space mission. Right? Then next question was on India's plan to have its own space station. Again, a question from space, but that was a bit current question, and that's why we have covered it under developments in the field of science and technology. Right. Next question is on nanotechnology, asked in 2016, and the question is why nanotechnology is considered as a technology of 21st century. Describe the salient features of Indian government's mission on nanoscience and technology and the scope of its application in the development process of the country. Right. So the question was from nanotechnology in 2016's examination. Why nanotechnology a technology of 21st century? 21st century. Right. So that was just a part. Further, they also asked about nano science and technology initiative launched by Government of India in 2001, and also the applications of nanotechnology for the national development. Right. So that was the question in 2016's examination. Moreover, there are too many questions that UPSC has asked from biotechnology. So we have already discussed the question on stem cell therapy asked in 2017. Again, there was a question in 2018, and the question is, why is there much activity in the field of biotechnology in our country? How has the activity benefited the field of biopharma? Right. So question on biotechnology. Biotechnology activity in India. Right. So this question, again, it is not a specific question that it is asking about a particular application of biotechnology. In the second part, though, it mentions about biopharma, but in the first part of the question, we are supposed to discuss why is there so much of activity in the field of biotechnology, because biotechnology can solve many of our problems, like problem related to health and diseases, problems related to food security, problems related to waste management. All those problems can be addressed, and hence biotechnology is seen as a panacea for these problems, and hence there is so much of activity in the field of biotechnology. And in the second part, the question is specifically asking what will be the benefits to biopharma sector. If there is more activity in biotechnology, obviously all the sectors, all the applications of biotechnology will be taken forward, including biopharma. Right. So the question was asked in 2018's examination. Right. Then the question was also there on nuclear technology, and the question is, give an account of growth and development of nuclear science and technology in India. What is the advantage of fast breeder reactor? So again a question on nuclear technology about advancements in nuclear science and technology. And it also asks us about fast breeder reactors. Right? Again, a question is quite a traditional question. So, for this topic, for this particular topic, awareness in the field of science and technology, questions have both the angles. That means some questions have current angle. For example, the stem cell therapy is current in nature. Why nanotechnology is current in nature? Then the technologies or manned space mission, again a current aspect. So all these are the current aspects related to awareness in the field of science and technology. But at the same time, questions are also asked from traditional topics. For example, achievements in the field of space science, achievements or advancements in the field of nanoscience and technology, advancements in biotechnology. All those are traditional questions and they have also been asked by UPSC in this particular topic, right? So that is about the question asked in 2018's examination. It was in 2017, not 2018, 2017. Next question is again related to nuclear energy. So with growing energy needs, should India keep on expanding its nuclear energy program? Discuss the facts and fears associated with nuclear energy, right? So should we go ahead with nuclear energy? That was the question. Should we go ahead with nuclear energy? And if we want to, what are the concerns that we have to take into account to increase the share of nuclear energy in our energy pool, right? So that was the question asked in 2018's examination. Pure static question. It is not related to current development. Both the parts of the questions are static in nature, and it was asked in 2018's mains examination. Then a question was also asked on cloud computing, which is a part of IT and computers, and it was in 2015. Question was very straightforward. Discuss the advantages and security implication of cloud hosting of servers vis-a-vis in-house machine-based hosting of government businesses. Right. So IT and computers in 2015 there was a question related to cloud computing. Right. Next, there was in 2020 question asked on nanotechnology again, and here question is about what do you understand by nanotechnology and how is it helping in health sector? So very specific question in 2020's mains examination about nanotechnology and health. What are the applications of nanotechnology in health sector? So we know that there are targeted drug delivery, which is the most important advantage or application of nanotechnology in health sector. Then also we have the applications in the form of diagnosis, early diagnosis, nano sponges, nano robots. All these are important advantages which will revolutionize the way we treat various kinds of diseases in the world. Right? So that is the relation between nanotechnology and health asked in 2020's mains examination. Next, in 2019, again there was a question on biotechnology, and that is about biotechnology and its role in the improvement of standard of living for farmers. Right? So biotechnology in 2019, biotechnology and farmers, or biotechnology and agriculture. What is the role of biotechnology which will allow it to contribute in the improvement of the standard of living of Indian farmers, right? So that was the question. Next, again, if we take into account the 2016's examination, then question was on LEDs. In 2016, there was a question on the National Program on Light Emitting Diodes. And also similar question or the question on similar topic was asked in 2021's mains examination as well. So in 2021, question was on blue LED, and similar question was also asked in 2016's examination. And lastly, we can say that the question was also there from the benefits of deriving electric energy from sunlight in contrast to conventional energy, right? So we can put that particular part, put that particular question in the energy sector, in the energy sector related to science and technology, wherein question was asked on advantages of solar energy vis-a-vis traditional form of energy that we are using, right? So all these are the questions that are asked in different years on biotechnology, space technology, nuclear technology, nanotechnology, IT and computers, etc. And if we consider again 2021's mains examination, there is a question on the application of biotechnology, right? So question is again asked in 2021's mains examination on biotechnology, right? So all these are the important developments related to or important questions related to awareness in the field of science and technology. And if you see all these questions, they have both the aspects. That means static aspects are also there, and at the same time, current developments are also being asked by UPSC from this particular topic, awareness in the field of science and technology, right? And lastly, last topic is about issues related with intellectual property right. Issues related with intellectual property right. And there was a question that was asked by UPSC in 2015's mains examination, and the question is, India's TKDL, Traditional Knowledge Digital Library, which has a database containing formatted information on more than 2 million medicinal formulations, is proving a powerful weapon in countries' fight against erroneous patents. Discuss the pros and cons of making this database public by database publicly available under open source licensing, right? So for this particular topic, question was on TKDL, which was firstly created in 2001, right? So TKDL consists of the information from traditional knowledge related to, let's say, medicine in India, and that traditional knowledge is available in various languages in TKDL like English, German, French, Spanish, Japanese. All those languages, the knowledge is converted into all those languages, and that information stored in TKDL is made accessible to international patent offices, so that whenever they get any application related to use of certain products as a patent right, then they can see if this particular product is already available in the form of traditional knowledge in India or not. So TKDL makes sure that there is no erroneous patents allowed by offices across the world, and that is one of the important contributions of TKDL, right? So the question was asked by UPSC in 2015's examination on TKDL. Moreover, in 2019, there was a question related to issues on intellectual property right, and the question was, how is the government of India protecting traditional knowledge of medicine from patenting by pharmaceutical companies? So this was in 2015, and again in 2019, question was asked on steps taken by the government to protect traditional knowledge, right? So what kind of steps are taken? So the most important step is in the form of creation of TKDL itself, traditional knowledge digital library. And also in 2002, government came up with a law called as Biodiversity Conservation Act 2002, which also ensures that no patent or no intellectual property right is achieved over Indian Indian biological resources without the consent of the government, right? So that was done by the government in 2002 through Biodiversity Conservation Act 2002, right? So all these are the different questions that UPSC has asked in science and technology from these topics. So if we talk about developments in the field of science and technology, as we have already discussed, it is about current affairs. Next, achievements of Indians. Traditional sources are important for covering achievements of Indians in the field of science and tech. Then next is indigenization of technology. Indigenization of technology, much questions are not asked by UPSC, but here we can say that it is static plus current. Questions may be static as well as current oriented. Next is awareness in the field of science and technology, and the fields in which we need to have awareness is these technologies. And the questions already we have referred to, which point out that the questions are again from static and current based questions. Static and current based questions, right? And lastly, issues related with intellectual property right. Again, for this, questions are static plus current in nature, because if we see question asked in 2015 about TKDL, TKDL is established in 2001. Again, for 2019's question, the steps taken by the government for the protection of traditional knowledge from getting patented are again steps like formation of TKDL, enactment of Biological Diversity Act 2002, Biodiversity Act 2002. So all those acts are important, and all those steps are important, which make again this particular topic static as well as current in nature, right? So these are the different topics that we are supposed to study under science and technology. And if we now analyze the trend of the topics that are being asked by UPSC in various mains, then the questions are more questions are being asked by UPSC from certain topics. For example, there are many more questions from space, from biotechnology, and from nanotechnology. Many questions are asked by UPSC from space technology, biotechnology, and nanotechnology. Because as we can see here, there is a question on biotechnology in 2017. Then there is a question on biotechnology in 2018, 2019, and even in 2021, question is asked on biotechnology, right? Again, space question is there in 2016, 2017. Then question is also asked by UPSC in recent times as well, right? So these topics become important from our exams perspective, especially biotechnology. Very important topic from the exams perspective. Many questions have been asked, right? But at the same time, questions are also asked by UPSC from other topics, like let's say achievements of Indians. Though there were no questions from 2013 to 2015 on this particular topic, since 2019 or since 2018, two questions have been asked. First was related to the contribution of Dr. Satyendranath Bose, and then the contribution of Dr. M.S. Swaminathan and Sir M. Vishweshwaraya, right? So that's why these topics are also becoming important. Again, issues related to intellectual property rights, though questions are asked in the earlier times, that means 2015, the question again got repeated in 2019. Similar question was there, right? So if you analyze previous year questions, you will get a right path for the preparation of this exam. And if you again, try to analyze the questions in a better way, then that will tell you questions are often applied questions. Questions are often applied questions. That means the use of information that you have read, hardly there will be a direct question which will allow you to use that information directly. Questions nature is such that whatever information you have gathered, you'll have to apply that information to write the answer. For example, question related to, let's say, manned space mission. In 2017, it was very difficult to write answer for manned space mission. But if you know the technology associated with manned space mission, then it is quite simpler to address this particular question. Moreover, questions like, let's say, nanotechnology as a technology of 21st century. So here you will have to visualize what are the problems that world and India faces in 21st century, and in those problems, if we can use nanotechnology. If we can use nanotechnology to resolve those problems, obviously it will become a technology of 21st century, right? Similarly, let's say the question asked on biotechnology and its contribution in the agriculture sector. So we know that biotechnology is used for making, let's say, genetically modified crops, genetically modified animal species, or animal husbandry breeds. Then it is also used for biopesticides, biofertilizers. All those are the important applications of biotechnology. Your answer will be unique if you apply this information that you have related to use of biotechnology in agriculture sector in answer writing. That means you will have to ensure that you are not writing about these things, but you are writing about the things that are being asked by question. Question is asking you about the applications, about the use of biotechnology to improve the standard of living. So if we use, let's say, genetically modified crops, which are the result of biotechnology, then it is possible for farmers to reduce their input cost. They will have to use, let's say, lesser amount of water. Their productivity will be more. Crops will not be susceptible to, let's say, pest, and hence use of pesticides will reduce. So in the end, this use of biotechnology is reducing input cost for farmers, and on the other hand, it is increasing production, right? So these things you will have to write. Whatever information you will have to use it in writing answers in a good way, right? So that is about the different topics and the questions that are being asked by UPSC. So what are the trends of questions? Questions are mostly on current affairs, right? Question like, let's say, question was asked on COVID-19. Question was asked on manned space mission. Question is asked on stem cell therapy. Most of the questions are current in nature, but that does not mean we should not study static part, because even questions are there from static portion of the syllabus as well, right? And hence there is a need to balance both these things. We should be aware of static part as well as current affairs, right? So that should be the approach that is about the trend of questions that are being asked by UPSC. Fine. So I hope that is helpful to you. So that is about this trend analysis session of science and technology. Thank you.